Okie dokie, so in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit of a story. I guess you could say this is kind of another vlog type video. Essentially, I'm going to be telling you guys the story as to how Mami-san, aka Mami Tomoye, was able to help me get over a very serious breakup that I experienced. Now, back in 2012, that was kind of a special year for me because that was the year in which I got into my very first serious long-term relationship. Or to be more accurate, I actually had several relationships during that year with different girls. And interestingly enough, the relationships kind of all took place like one after the other. Like toward the end of 2011, I basically met somebody. I'm not going to really say what her name is, but she's a girl that I essentially met on YouTube. I met her in an AMV studio, which, if you don't know, AMV stands for Anime Music Video. And, there was a group that I was a part of that made, anime music videos together. So we met through that. And, over time, we spoke, like on Skype and like in YouTube comments and stuff. And over time, we kind of developed, a really interesting relationship. Though I will say that I don't really consider that to be like an actual relationship, because I think it was kind of leaning more toward, friends with benefits, essentially, because, we had a lot in common in terms of our sexual interests, but I'm not going to go into too much detail regarding that. But anyway, so I basically was in a relationship slash friends with benefits type thing toward the end of 2011, and at the start of 2012, I met a girl, and we were basically in a relationship for about 3 months before things kind of didn't go so well, and we ended up breaking up. And then the moment that the relationship ended, I essentially met another girl, and this particular relationship lasted for about 6 months. And, for a while, we were really hitting it off, like really well. Like, it's funny because they say that within the first 6 months of a relationship is kind of like the honeymoon period, essentially. Like, it's basically the time period in which everything is kind of going perfectly. It's like you're really hitting it off well with that person. And it's usually after the 6 month goes by and the honeymoon period wears off that you really kind of get to see, what both people are like in the relationship. So, long story short, we were together for 6 months, and then unfortunately things didn't work out. And as you can probably imagine, because like if you're in a relationship, like if you're somebody who's watching this and you know what it's like to be, in a long-term relationship, if you know what it's like to really be, very passionately involved with a person and to spend, like a long time, talking to them and interacting with them. This was a person that I had spent, pretty much almost every single day with. It was like very few occasions where we weren't talking or interacting in some way. Like, we were extremely close. So once the relationship ended, it was pretty difficult for me personally to, move on from it. And one of the things that helped me, it was actually a variety of different things that helped me. I had a bunch of different friends that knew of the relationship, and they were able to help me to deal with the loss, essentially. And I also dove into my hobby at the time, which was AMV making. I got more involved in making better videos after the relationship ended. And one of the things that also happened after the relationship ended, or to be more precise, it actually happened like a few days before the actual breakup took place, but it was essentially when I discovered Mami-san. It's really interesting because I love Mami-san for so many reasons. I love her because of how she looks physically. I love her for her role in the series of being, like a badass with guns and just being like a self-sacrificing, type of person. It's a bunch of different things about her that I love. But one of the one of the initial reasons that I really started to, fall in love with her was the fact that she was able to essentially help me heal from, a very, very serious relationship that I came out of. And so what essentially happened was after the whole breakup took place, um, and another thing that's also interesting too is that this girl that I was in a relationship with for 6 months, she had actually hacked into my YouTube account. Now, truth be told, I can't really prove it. I just know that literally the day after me and her broke up was when I lost my first YouTube account which I made AMVs on. It essentially went down. And as you can imagine, I was kind of devastated because I had had that YouTube account for 7 years. Like I had made that account in 2007, and it was 2012. And as you can imagine, it was kind of tough developing a reputation for my AMVs at the time. So to lose the account was also kind of devastating. Um, you know, but um, but after my account went down, and after the breakup took place, is when I discovered Mami-san. I had discovered her by watching a couple of AMVs, one of which was called Dayman, and the other one was a shorter video. It was kind of like an MEP part, which is like a short version of an AMV video, whatever. So I watched that, and from watching those videos is when I discovered Mami, and I was really impressed with her character design and her physical appearance, and as a result of this, I started to become, really invested in her. And I remember there was a friend that I had met who was nice enough to make me I think at the time, if you remember when YouTube had the whole background thing, you remember when you could actually make actual backgrounds for your channel instead of just having like the shitty little banners? Somebody was nice enough to make me a background of Mami. She was able to make me a background back when I was first getting into her. So every time I came to my channel, I had a chance to, marvel at her and kind of Google at how cute she was. But yeah, Mami-san essentially helped me to get over, the relationship. It was kind of like, because as the relationship ended is when I first got into Madoka. And, as I got into Madoka, I started to edit with it in my videos, and I started to, I started to watch a bunch of episodes. And over time, I was very captivated by her. So yeah, she was able to help me get over a very serious relationship, just by being her amazing self, by being beautiful, by being, a kick-ass fighter, by being, self-sacrificing. She was able to essentially heal my heart. So yeah, I think that's mostly it. I just wanted to tell you guys that Mami was the one who helped me get over a serious relationship. So if anybody watching this, if you guys have ever had a situation in your life where something was able to help you get over a relationship, whether it was a friend or an anime character, let me know. Love to talk to you guys about it. And that's pretty much it. Subscribe to my channel for more Madoka content. I upload videos every week, mostly on Fridays. And I'll catch you in the next video. This is Mami Sexual signing off. I love you and peace out.